Divorce in the world of celebrities is rarely a quiet affair. With vast fortunes, lavish lifestyles, and global attention, these separations often become spectacles where millions, sometimes even billions, are at stake. The public fascination lies not only in the heartbreak of love lost, but also in the staggering financial consequences that can change the trajectory of even the wealthiest stars. For many high-profile names, walking away from a marriage meant walking away from unimaginable sums of money, forever cementing their divorces as some of the most expensive in history. Take Paul McCartney, for instance. The legendary Beatles icon, who had already built a fortune spanning decades of music and tours, saw his wealth take a massive hit during his divorce from Heather Mills. Their marriage had lasted only 4 years, yet the split became one of the most publicized in Britain. Mills walked away with a settlement of around $48 million, a figure that shocked many given the relatively short length of their relationship. McCartney himself was outspoken about the stress and frustration of the proceedings, proving that even icons who shaped modern music are not immune to the emotional and financial toll of divorce. Another unforgettable case was that of Tiger Woods, the golf superstar whose reputation and career were shaken by scandal. After revelations of multiple affairs, his marriage to Ellen Nordegren collapsed, and the financial fallout was immense. Reports estimated that Woods paid around $100 million in the settlement, making it one of the largest of its kind in the sports world. The divorce not only cost him financially, but also added to the pressure on his professional life, leading to a slump in his performance and endorsements. For Woods, it was a reminder that fame and fortune couldn't shield him from personal consequences. When it comes to Hollywood royalty, few stories rival that of Mel Gibson. At the height of his career, Gibson was one of the highest-paid actors and directors in the industry, amassing a fortune that seemed untouchable. But his divorce from his wife Robin Moore, after nearly 3 decades of marriage, became a turning point. The settlement is often cited as the largest celebrity divorce payout in history, with Gibson reportedly paying over $400 million. What made this case even more striking was the fact that Moore had been with him before his global fame, supporting him during his early years. The sheer scale of the payout highlighted just how devastating divorce can be for even the wealthiest in Hollywood. Another musician whose divorce grabbed headlines was Neil Diamond. Known for his timeless hits and commanding stage presence, Diamond admitted himself that the settlement with his ex-wife Marcia Murphy was extraordinary. Their divorce reportedly cost him around $150 million, though Diamond famously commented that she was worth every penny. Unlike others, his words painted a different picture, one of acceptance rather than resentment. His attitude towards the financial outcome made headlines as much as the settlement itself, showing how personal perspective can color the narrative of divorce. Then there was Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. Jordan's divorce from his wife Juanita Vanoy after 17 years of marriage cost him a settlement reported to be around $168 million. The split came during a period where Jordan was already cemented as a global icon, and the massive payout underscored just how high the stakes are when personal relationships unravel in the public eye. For many fans, it was a stark reminder that even legends face challenges off the court that rival their toughest battles on it. These stories reveal that in the celebrity world, divorce settlements are not just about money. They are about legacies, public perception, and the very human realities of heartbreak and loss. What might be just another chapter in an ordinary person's life becomes a headline-grabbing spectacle when it involves millions and the world's most recognizable names. And for these celebrities, the staggering amounts they lost became inseparable from the narrative of their lives, reminding everyone that wealth cannot insulate anyone from the emotional and financial costs of love gone wrong. The financial shocks of celebrity divorces did not stop with athletes and musicians. Hollywood actors and media moguls have had their own staggering settlements that remain etched in history. One of the most talked about splits was that of Harrison Ford and his second wife, Melissa Mathison. Known worldwide for his roles in Star Wars and Indiana Jones, Ford had earned hundreds of millions through blockbuster films. When the couple divorced after more than 2 decades of marriage, Matheson walked away with an estimated $118 million. The settlement also included a share of Ford's future earnings from films that were negotiated during their marriage. It was a striking example of how divorce settlements extend beyond existing assets to cover the long-term financial success that one spouse may continue to enjoy. Film director Steven Spielberg's divorce was another case that captured public attention, not only for the enormous payout, but also for its unusual circumstances. Spielberg had married actress Amy Irving in the 1980s, and their union lasted just 4 years. What stood out in their divorce was a prenuptial agreement that had been written on a napkin. When the case went to court, the judge ruled the prenup invalid, and Irving was awarded a settlement of around $100 million. The case became a cautionary tale for celebrities, reinforcing the importance of legally sound agreements, especially when vast fortunes are involved. The story of Madonna and Guy Ritchie added yet another layer of fascination. At the time of their divorce, Madonna was already an international music icon, while Ritchie was an acclaimed filmmaker. Their marriage, which lasted 8 years, ended with Ritchie receiving a settlement estimated between $76 million and $92 million, along with properties the couple had shared. What made the split intriguing was that, unlike many high-profile divorces where women receive the larger payouts, this case flipped the narrative. Madonna's fortune meant that she was the one parting with millions, highlighting how celebrity divorces do not always follow traditional expectations. Another headline-making case was the divorce of Garth Brooks, the country music legend, and his wife Sandy Marl. Their marriage had spanned over a decade, during which Brooks became one of the best-selling artists of all time. When they divorced in 2001, Marl was awarded a settlement of approximately $125 million. For fans, the news was as shocking as it was sobering, underscoring how long-lasting partnerships in the entertainment industry often come with monumental financial consequences when they unravel. Even beyond the entertainment industry, business magnates who straddle the line of celebrity have made history with jaw-dropping divorce settlements. Rupert Murdoch, the media tycoon whose empire included everything from newspapers to television networks, divorced his second wife Anna Murdoch after more than 30 years of marriage. The settlement was reportedly around $1.7 billion, including $110 million in cash, one of the largest in history. Though Murdoch's wealth meant he remained immensely powerful, the size of the payout demonstrated just how colossal divorce settlements can become when global empires are involved. These divorces illustrate how wealth, fame, and power cannot shield individuals from the personal and financial devastation of a marriage ending. Whether it was fortunes tied up in music royalties, film earnings, or sprawling business empires, the results were the same. Billions collectively changed hands through courtroom decisions and private settlements. For the public, these cases serve as reminders that even the most glamorous lives are marked by vulnerabilities. Beneath the headlines, behind the staggering numbers, and beyond the shock value lies a simple truth. No amount of money can guarantee a happily ever after. The list of staggering celebrity divorce settlements would be incomplete without mentioning Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, whose split from Mackenzie Scott became the most expensive divorce of all time. When they announced their separation in 2019 after 25 years of marriage, the world was stunned by the scale of wealth involved. Bezos, then the richest man in the world, agreed to a settlement valued at roughly $38 billion, instantly making Mackenzie Scott one of the wealthiest women on the planet. What set their divorce apart, however, was the relative civility and mutual respect displayed publicly. Instead of a drawn-out courtroom battle, the two reached a settlement quietly, proving that even in cases involving astronomical sums, divorce does not always have to be bitter. Another divorce that reshaped headlines was that of Frank and Jamie McCourt, the former owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their marriage dissolved in 2011, sparking a legal battle that nearly pushed the famed baseball team into bankruptcy. Jamie received a settlement of around $130 million, but what made the split infamous was how it intersected with the fate of a professional sports franchise. Their divorce served as a striking example of how personal separations can ripple into entire industries, affecting not only the couple, but also employees, fans, and the wider business landscape. High-profile splits have also reshaped fortunes in the world of business beyond Bezos. Oil tycoon Harold Hamm's divorce from Sue Ann Arnold was among the most contentious in history. The court initially awarded Arnold nearly $1 billion, one of the largest payouts ever ordered. Yet in a twist, she later rejected the settlement, arguing she was entitled to much more. Though the case dragged on, the enormous figure underscored how industries tied to global markets can make divorce settlements fluctuate based on the value of shares, stock options, and company assets. On the entertainment front, actor Kevin Costner's divorce from his first wife Cindy Silver in the mid-1990s cost him around $80 million. At the time, it was among the most expensive Hollywood divorces ever recorded. Their split occurred during the height of Costner's career, shortly after his Oscar-winning success with Dances with Wolves. The massive payout became a benchmark for celebrity divorces in that decade, showing just how much the end of a marriage could financially reshape even the brightest stars of Hollywood's golden era. Rounding out the long list of extraordinary settlements is the divorce of Alec and Jocelyn Wildenstein, a socialite couple whose separation remains notorious, not just for its financial scale, but also for the lifestyle it revealed. Jocelyn walked away with a reported $2.5 billion settlement, along with $100 million annually for 13 years. The case remains one of the most extravagant in history, not just for the numbers, but for the glimpse it gave into a world of unimaginable luxury and excess. Together, these divorces demonstrate how the end of a marriage in the public eye can reshape fortunes, industries, and even global headlines. From the world's richest tech magnate to Hollywood's brightest stars, the stories of these settlements serve as cautionary tales and fascinating snapshots of human relationships entangled with unimaginable wealth. The eye-watering figures attached to these divorces may dominate the headlines, but at their core, they remind us that behind every fortune lost is a deeply personal story of two people whose paths diverged, leaving behind lessons, legacies, and a lasting imprint on history.